Hello there, this is DBT, and these are of rooms. And alright, it's time to make an announcement. And man, what an announcement it is. I've been waiting for this for a while. It's time to reveal the HOVAC. The what? The House of Rooms Asphalt Challenges. Oh yeah. Now, what is that about, I hear you ask? Well, let me tell you. While there's plenty competition in Asphalt 8 in the form of multiplayer, gauntlet, and leaderboards for time-limited events, in my opinion, there's a component missing. An out-of-pride competition with no real stakes, no rewards to fight for, no incentive to cheat. Just pure, unadulterated, friendly competition. And that is what the HOVACs are meant to cover. Now, in case you're not aware what the House of Rooms is, this thing right over here, the House of Rooms, it's my Discord server. This whole thing is being organized through my Discord server, which is linked in the description in case you want to join. We talk a lot about this game, and obviously now we're hosting the competition itself. But I'll read you the guide and rules so that we can understand what these challenges are about and how they are handled. But I'll give you the short version of it. Number 1, I randomly select 5 challenges in different brackets. Number 2, I announce and post the challenges. Number 3, people post their videos beating the challenge. And number 4, at the end of the week, winners are selected. It sounds very simple, right? But there's quite a bit of nuance to it, a little bit of rules and things to consider, which is why I said that I feel like this is filling maybe a space that is not necessarily occupied at the moment in Asphalt 8. So for the more in-detail guide, I'll read you the one that is posted in the Discord server. Now, here in the Discord server, there's the normal stuff where we talk about other games and whatnot, but we have this whole section which is for the HOVAC. And in here you find the guides and rules. So I'll read what it says over here, and then we'll talk a bit more about the little details. In this entire category, we'll be organizing the HOVAC, the House of Room Asphalt Challenges. As the name implies, these are challenges that we, the community, organize and participate in. The guide. At the start of the week, the exact time is to be determined yet, which is probably just going to be on Mondays. 5 brackets will be selected and assigned a track for the competition. Like I said, this will be randomly selected. I will not have any preference. The only thing is I'm going to try to avoid super long tracks with very slow cars. That is the only thing that I may manually tweak a little bit so that we don't end up in Tokyo Reverse with a 1050 car, you know? But anyway, continuing. The selected brackets and challenges will be announced in the HOVAC announcements channel, which is over here. We're not going to go into it just yet. Now, maybe we should. Don't pay attention too much about this information. We'll look at it a bit later. But what's important is that over here is where I'm going to announce the current bracket and challenges. And you can see over here there's already 5 running for different brackets in different tracks. So this is where you will be able to see this. Obviously, you cannot post over here. This is just for the admins to make the announcements. Then, each active challenge will be posted in the respective bracket channel. And if we scroll down a little bit, you can see that there is indeed several channels with precisely the bracket that were announced over here. We announced the 12:30. There's the 12:30. We announced the 13:20. There it is. And so on and so forth. So you can go to the announcement and just jump to the respective challenge that you want to look at, or while you're just browsing around, you can just straight up go into this and see what the challenges are about. Anyway, continuing, moving on. You cannot post directly in the bracket channel, but each challenge post has a thread where you can submit your own lap. Meaning that I want to look at the challenge of 1320, right? And it's like, oh, I would like to do this challenge. Let me post over here. Well, you cannot post here. Over here, obviously, because I'm the administrator, I can post. But this is locked for you. You cannot post here. Instead, if you want to post, what you have to do is go into the thread, open the thread, and there you will see where people are posting. There are some people already posting their times, posting their videos, and that is where you can post. Now, keep in mind that this has a slow mode. This is so that chat should not be happening here. If you want to chat about anything of these challenges, there's this section for general chat. Over here in the threads, you should only post your lap where you're beating the previous time. If you just post LOL, well, you will have wasted one post with a 1 hour slow mode. So really, don't chat over here. I mean, you can, but you're going to be wasting your opportunity to post over there. Instead, this is just for you to post directly the challenges, where your challenge to the challenge. You know what I'm saying? I hope you do. Next point. A challenge mod wins once a day around the 0 hours GMT time zone. We'll pin the post with the current record holder. And if we look over here, that's exactly what already happened. Over here, for the people in purple are the people who are the moderator challenge, like Lego and also invalid user. And you will see that something has been pinned. In case you don't know, you can check the pin messages going over here. And over here, it shows you what is currently the best time that has been found, or that has been posted so far. So, going back, at the end of the week cycle, one last update will be made to each bracket and the winner is chosen. That is, once we reach the final day, time is also to be determined. But actually, you know what? The time already exists. If you check the challenges themselves, it gives you the deadline. So we'll talk about that in a second again. But once that happens, the thread will be locked, straight up locked, and the winner will be chosen. Then, and then at the end of the week cycle, DBT's room, meaning me, will make a YouTube video showing the best laps submitted through the week, which is going to be happening in Mondays, maybe Tuesdays, depending on how busy I am. But ideally, in a Monday like today, you will be seeing a video where I go through the winners of each one of the brackets to see the laps and talk a little bit about and see if we learn anything. Because in a way, this also helps a lot for us, the players in general, to learn a bit more how the pros do it. Now, this is the general guide of how this works. Obviously, at the end of the week, the new one begins and the whole process repeats, right? Now, like I said, there's rules for participating in this thing. The first is you cannot use any of the car or category of listed in the channel of banned cars. Now, this is going to be a bit of a topic and we'll delve a little bit deeper later, but let me read you over here the main message. Here you can see the cars that are currently banned from these challenges. This list will be updated over as the meta changes. Once a list is updated, it will show the date of the last update. And more importantly, the cars in this list are banned as of now. The list is evolving, and if a car was unjustly banned, we'll reconsider for next week. And likewise, if a really OP car is allowed now, it will probably be banned next week. And over here you can see that for each one of the brackets, disallowed vehicles for this bracket, disallowed for this bracket. Like I said, we're really not going to be doing much of the lowest brackets. We're probably going to be doing from 1140 onwards. But anyway, disallowed from 1140, disallowed from 1230, the disallowed from 1320, so on and so forth. So, what is the idea behind banning vehicles? Well, the reality is that you know that this game is very much pay to win, and there's some cars that are just straight up broken, that are way too good. I'm looking at you, Camaro Anniversary Edition, or the Camaro Independence Edition, or the Lancer, Mitsubishi Lancer Anniversary Edition. That's also very broken. There's a bunch of cars that are broken, and those are banned because the idea is to not create the same type of competition that already exists in the game. We will go again into more detail about this in a bit, but just wanted to give you an idea on how there's definitely vehicles that are banned. Bikes are disallowed altogether, and then there's some particular cars in each one of the brackets that are not allowed. And over here you can see when was the list last updated, so that you have an idea of when the cars were banned, or if there were any changes, when did the change happen. Going back to the rules. No MP-tuned cars allowed for the time being. This is because, while generally MP-tuned cars, and in case you don't know, that is a car that belongs in a different bracket when it's at Pro, but people tune it in a way where it will compete in a lower bracket. This is not allowed because, while normally most of the MP-tuned cars tend to be worse than a regular Pro car, there's some situations where cars will still be a bit too strong. So the idea right now is no MP-tunes. It's only going to be cars at Pro rank in their respective brackets. That is what is going to be competing. Number 3, you must submit a video of the lap either as a Discord attachment or a YouTube video in high enough quality to be able to read the timer, and in the text of the post also at the lap time. I'll give you an example. If we go over here, I think this is where I posted the example one. Okay, here's one, for example. This is one that I posted, and here's a video. It's a YouTube video. This is an unlisted video, so it will not show normally for viewers of the channel, but you can check them over here. And I posted the lap itself, a video on YouTube, or like I said, you can also just embed the video if you can, if you have Discord Nitro or whatever. And please post the time that you achieved. The time is important for us to be able to read this easier for us, I mean the moderators or administrators. But yeah, that's kind of how is the idea. For example, you can see over here, I posted my time with the Sagaries, I think. No, what was? No, this is with the what's this one called? Morgan. I did a Morgan lap and I got a time of 1 minute 19 seconds and 479 milliseconds. And then Blue Corgi decided, you know what, I'm gonna challenge it, and he went with the Sagaries and beat my time by, what is that, like a full second? Yeah, full second, so he did 1 second faster. And there you go. He posted it, and this is a perfectly fine. Then you can see Pinecone also did, with showing the time and all of that. So this is indeed the idea of how it's going to be working. Then, of course, the most obvious things, no glitching or ring out response allowed. You know that there are some tricks here and there, in, for example, in Terra 9, where you can jump off a particular ramp, ring out, and reappear further ahead. Same thing in Citadel Clash. Those type of things are not allowed. No glitching of going over the mountains, or that dumb glitch on Nevada Reverse where you can finish the race in 30 seconds. None of that. Just straight up, honest lap time. Obviously, no cheating or hacking allowed. So no speed, hacks, none of that. Just normal, good old competition. And other rules, obviously, no trash talking. And by that I mean, like I said over here, some friendly banter is allowed, like, oh, I bet you can beat me, or whatever, right? But no name calling, no being to other people, you know, all of that, none of that. I want this to be friendly because we are a friendly community, and I think that is something good to keep going. And finally, the general server rules still apply. You can look at the server rules. They're the general common rules that you will find in just about any server. So that is indeed the guide and the rules. Now, I'm going to talk more about some of the situation with the banned cars, like I was saying, and how these challenges are not for everybody, and I understand this. This is an invite for people that are interested in the concept, in the format, but if you're not up for it, that's completely fine. That's completely, perfectly understandable. So, as I was saying, the banned cars are a bit of a sore topic because if we look, like I was saying, let's look at the 1770 bracket. What is banned over here? Well, like I said, bikes are by default removed. But the Camaro Independence Edition, you know that thing is so strong. It's ridiculously strong. Then the Porsche 911 Rabbit Edition, just call it like that because the name is ridiculously long. That is also extremely strong. Really insane acceleration. And another car that got banned over here was the Aston Martin 77. And this is where things get a little bit murky. Obviously, I know that, for example, people that have the Camaro Independence Edition at Pro is their pride and joy, right? Like, oh, of course, it's my incredibly strong cars and I would races like that. Well, yeah. But the idea is to remove those things that are way too strong. Why? Because it makes it very unfair. Let's say that you're a player that has been playing for 3 months and you just managed to get your, I don't know, your, what is a free card? Your Zonda R finally pro'd out, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna participate in this challenge, and instantly someone brings the Camaro Independence Edition. That's RIP, you know? That's gonna destroy just about everything. And yeah, granted, if there's 5-10 people participating with the Camaro Independence Edition, well, they can challenge each other, right? But then that leaves behind all the other people that don't have that car, don't have it at Pro or whatever. Same thing with the Porsche 911 Rabbit Edition. These are cars that are just too strong that it doesn't make sense. They're way above all the other cars in the same bracket. So that is why these type of cars are being removed. And like I said, I understand that some people will be upset at the idea of, wait, you're banning my best cars? What is the point on that? But let's be completely honest. Even in actual racing, let's say in GT3 races, cars are limited to certain performance. And yeah, granted, there's some cars that are going to be always better than others. But any car that breaks the rules, then, that's no longer allowed. That's what these extremely strong cars feel like. They accelerate way faster than anything else, and thus they're really not allowed. And there's for different reasons that they can be banned, or for example, insanely ridiculous nitro duration and things like that. So yes, I understand people will be upset about it, because you can see that in each one of the brackets there's a bunch of cars removed. For example, in 1590, again, no bikes, that's general rule. Formula E Gen 2, that's very strong. The Lambo Stoke apparently is ridiculously strong too. The Speedster, the Peugeot 9X8, and the Ramona. Now, each one of these messages, again, you cannot post over here, but you can see that there are threads. You can just go into the thread and you can see where the discussion has been happening. These aren't just random bans that I'm deciding. This is an ongoing discussion as to what is a car that should and should not be banned. Like I said, there are some cars that maybe are unbanned unjustly. Like I was hearing, I was originally informed that the Ramona was very strong, but apparently it's not as much. So maybe we will unban it for the next week, and I will remove this from here and update the date when this was changed. So that is kind of the idea. Now, something else worth mentioning is in the 1860. Here we go. No ultimates. That means nothing from the Bugatti Bolide or the Chiron 300 Plus or the Jesco Absolute, because it's the same thing. They're the extremely strong cars, and honestly, no thanks. Now, there's a reason to ban these other ones, and that has to do with some vehicles having extremely high top speed. The Ultimates by default have that, but also the Tri-Nemesis, Koenigsegg 1.1, and the Vel 16 have a very high top speed, and that is banned. Why is that? And when I say top speed, I know that in the end, Nitro plus top speed balance out to give a normal speed comparable to just about any other vehicle. But the thing is, some challenges don't have boosters allowed. For example, over here, French Guiana, Game Mode Classic, no boosters allowed. So anybody that wants to participate in this will have to do a lap with unboosted, which is exactly what I was showing over here. I hope it's not too loud. Oh, it's actually muted. But if you see this thing, you're gonna notice that it's completely unboosted. Now, that is another bit of a peculiar thing that I hear people being like, but why unboosted? Why not triple boosted? Well, triple boosted is the normal thing that you compete with everywhere else, Any other thing, you better go triple boosted or you'll not have a good time. Well, over here, I wanted in fact, the majority of the challenges to be unboosted, precisely so that people that don't have boosters, or people that just want to chill and not waste their boosters or whatever, can just go into it. And besides, it gives them a slightly different way of playing this game, because suddenly your concern is not about triple tap all the way through. Instead, the concern is, oh, I gotta build my nitro real quick. I gotta save nitro around here. I gotta knock down the cars at the beginning. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. It changes the way that you focus how to do a challenge. So it's no longer triple tap and keep going. No. It's about, maybe I should do some perfect nitro around here. Does my car have good enough nitro? Can I build it quick enough? Do I have enough accelerate? There's a whole different things to consider. Now, like I said, not all of the challenge are unboosted. For example, if we go over here, you will notice that this one, it's boosted. Now, as far as which are going to be boosted and unboosted, that will be also chosen randomly. But I just wanted to make it clear that some will be boosted, some will be unboosted. And that goes back to the idea of the banned vehicles. Because when you have a car that unboosted without any nitro goes 490 kilometers an hour, like it's the case of an Ultimate, and you compare that to a Centenario that unboosted and without nitro is going to be going at 440, you can see why these cars are extremely, extremely strong. So, and you could argue, well, why don't you allow this when you're triple boosted? The reality is that that's going to complicate things even further. Like, is this boosted so the ban list doesn't apply? Is this unboosted so the ban list applies? No, the ban list applies, period, to any of the challenges. So there you go. That is kind of the idea. Anytime that you have a doubt of to what vehicle is banned, you just go here and you look for the particular bracket, and then you will see. If you have some qualms about whether a car should and shouldn't be banned, you can go into the thread and we can talk about that whole thing. So that's basically the idea behind the bans. So I have seen indeed some conversation about it, some people getting annoyed that some cars get banned. And like I said, I understand why people would be annoyed by that. But all I can say for that is then these challenges are not for you. If you don't like the rules of the challenge, that's perfectly fine. You don't need to participate in this. This is for people who are like-minded, who like the idea of doing some challenges with some more particular rules. And if they enjoy it, well, there you go. You can participate. And instead, the people that like to go in a Camaro, Independence Edition, triple boosted all the time, then there's the rest of the game with the actual in-game leaderboards, you know? So this is just a place where I wanted to do something different, something that doesn't play the same, something where you gotta think about things a little bit different, use cars that maybe you didn't think about using before. For example, I think it's in this one, in the 1500, I realized that, well, if we look at the band cars, in 1500, where is it? Here we go. This allowed are the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution Anniversary Edition. I don't have that, but I do use a fair bit, the Asterion and the Rizvani Beast X. But once these were banned, I'm like, oh Jesus, what do I have to participate in? And I found that I did have one car to participate in, and it's the one that I think I mentioned a little bit earlier. No, I didn't. It's with the what is this called? The special edition. Is it that the Sagaris? I always get confused with those brands with 3 letters. TVR Sagaris, is that what it is? Yeah. So I discovered that I did have this vehicle that I could do, and as I was saying, if you look at it from the get, it's about, well, I'm unboosted. What do I do? Actually, I think this one later became boosted, but anyway, knock down the other racers and try to build my nitro and try to manage it right. So, like I said, it brings the idea of using different cars, and granted, there's still gonna be some metas. After the super strong cars are removed, then there's still gonna be some strong cars. But we can't just go banning every single car that is strong, because otherwise, instead we should go the other way around and say like, only this car is allowed. But if we do that, then a lot of people are not gonna have that car, so that doesn't quite work. In fact, that was the original idea, but I realized that everybody has completely different cars, everybody has focused on different things, so it's very difficult to try to find one car that everybody has. So yeah, that is kind of the idea behind it. Let's say that you want to participate in one of these challenges. Again, you go into the respective brackets where you can post. But over here you can see what are the rules. French Guiana, Classic, unboosted for 1320. All right. So then in-game, all you need to go, obviously, is into Quick Race. That is the beauty of this. This whole thing is done in Quick Race. So then you search for French Guiana. I mean, I would love if this was actually sorted by alphabetical order, but hey, whatevs. And of course, we're in the 1320 bracket, so it's Class D. So I'm gonna look for a car in 1320. From the cars that I have, 1320. So maybe I can use my Lamborghini Miura. Is that thing banned? And then we can check over here. 1320. So apparently the Miura is not banned, but the Countach is, so I cannot use that, or the DB9, BMW M2 Special Edition, and Testarossa. So I'm allowed to use my Miura. Then, like I said, because this is unboosted, no worries about having to use any booster, and instead I can just go ahead and do the lap. Now, there's one particular thing about this that I prefer for the videos to have once you were recording. And by the way, this is important. We're only accepting submissions with video, because I know that this will probably push away some other people, because I don't have a way to upload a video and whatnot. But we want this to be like a teaching experience for all the players, to see how the more skilled players do the laps, what are the tricks that maybe we were not aware of, and also doing it with a video. It allows us to see if there's some strangely suspicious time. Like if it was all about just posting a screenshot, well, who knows if anybody really cheated, you know? And it's like, no, I got this legit, bro, I swear. And it's like, yeah, but how are we sure that that isn't the case, that this was a legit, and that you didn't activate some speed hack that provided you a 0.01% higher speed, which in the end, well driven, is gonna end in an objective advantage, you know? Or you glitched out some part or something. So that is why videos are important. And also at the end of the lap, I ask people to show the leaderboard at the end of the race, because that shows obviously against what you were racing, but more importantly, which car you're using at which rank, and yeah, that gives us a bit of a better opportunity. Also, because normally if you have a bad quality video and this number, the time is not very visible, then, well, that's not gonna help. Instead, if you finish the lap and you show the result, because that's a static text, even if the quality of the video is low, that will be considerably readable. So right over here, I'm gonna finish my lap. Did I do a better time than my last time? I don't know. So, all right, first place, and right here, this is where I say stop there a minute so that we can see the car and we can see the actual time. So 1:27.66. I really doubt that I beat them because these guys are much more skilled than I am. But that is precisely why I wanted to bring these challenges. So what is the current best one? 1:17, and I did 1:20. Yeah, my time was terrible. So you can see that people with skills can do much better, but that is indeed the idea. So that is the general overview of the HOVAC, the House of Rooms Asphalt Challenges. Like I said, I know it's not for everybody, but if you're interested, if you like the format and you want to see your lap being featured in this channel, on Monday or Tuesday, depending on how busy I am, yeah, then participate. Try to post your best lap times and just go for it, because this can be a lot of fun so long as we all agree in a gentlemanly manner about the rules and what is allowed and what isn't. But anyway, that is where I'm gonna leave it for this video. I hope this was informative. I hope this catches your eye. And like I said, if you're interested, the link for the Discord server is in the description. For now, why don't you check my video on the MP-tuned Mercedes-Benz AMG GT3. What a beauty. Or this video where I compare the GTA Spano between Asphalt 8 and Asphalt 9. But for now, that's all. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care and stay safe. Bye-bye.